Hi everyone. For my informative speech, I had chose the topic on autism. Autism is an abnormal neurological development that affects the person in their social areas. In my speech, I'm going to cover the spectrum of autism, the different mental disorders that fall under the category of autism, some of the treatments and statistics and that belong with autism. Autism is a strange world that people don't really like to venture into. It has this weird stigma, and that's what I'm here to hopefully bust. Autism is pretty awesome. I've been a behavioral therapist for about 2 years now, which is working with all ends of the autism spectrum, and I've never met such awesome, unique, brilliant kids in my life until now. Usually, when a person is diagnosed with autism, they are referred to ABA. ABA is applied behavioral analysis, which is a type of therapy specifically for autism to help shape some of the skills that the person may be lacking. The hours of therapy may vary based on which end of the spectrum the child may belong to. The spectrum is something that I'm going to be talking about next. Since there are 3 million people in the world with autism, ABA has made its way to the spotlight in the world of autism. The services cost around $2 billion per year, and that isn't even including occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy that the person may need. Studies show that the ratio of autism is 1 to every 4. You may have seen somebody with autism and not even realize it. Autism is broken down since it is such a large disorder. There is a high and low end of the spectrum. The low end is the low functioning, meaning lacking social skills and maybe even nonverbal. High functioning is what people consider social norm, meaning that they have high social skills. So I couldn't use my other computer for my visual aids, so I made this one. This is the spectrum of autism, meaning that severe is up here, and then we have autism over here, and then the low end for autism down there. Asperger's syndrome falls under the autism spectrum. Asperger's is a high-functioning autism, meaning that the social skills and learning skills are high. Persuasive development disorder is also an atypical autism, another word for this disorder. This means that the person has very few symptoms of autism but experiences abnormal social skills. This is my other visual aid. The non-autistic is down here. Asperger's is in the middle along with the persuasive disorder. And then we have the autism up here that goes on to our other visual aid. Around 3.5 million people in the U.S. alone have autism. There are some cool things with people that autism do that we may not even understand when we see it. Depending on the autism a person may have, you may see them stim. A stim is something a person with autism does that is almost like a relaxing ritual. Like us, when we get nervous, we twirl our hair, bite our nails, and other things. But people with autism stim to calm themselves down or do it because it feels good. Stimming can come in the form of hand flapping, they're twisting their hands, and rocking back and forth, but it is all a part of what makes up autism. You may also experience echolalia, which is another characteristic of autism. Echolalia is a characteristic of autism where the person repeats what they've heard elsewhere, and it may be even something that they've heard on TV or what a family member or friend has recently said. Autism is known to affect the social areas. People diagnosed with autism may have trouble with eye contact, going to social gatherings, loud crowds, and the inability to communicate in the appropriate manner during appropriate times. Also, with the low end of the spectrum comes problems with elopement, the inability to detect dangerous situations, and also self-injurious behaviors. Self-injurious behaviors can be hair pulling, pinching themselves, hitting themselves, or even punching themselves or somebody nearby. A person with autism may do this because they're seeking sensory, which is another characteristic of autism. People with autism have a heightened sense for sensory, and they also may hear more and see more details than what people without autism do, which is also why there is a stigma that people with autism love water so much. There are so many sights and sounds that come with it. But autism is such a large topic with lots of depth in subjects belonging with this disorder. I hope that by giving this speech you have a better understanding on what autism is, the characteristics that belong with it, and can even help somebody who may need it out in public. We all have seen or known somebody who is associated with autism but may not have had the information on the subject, which I hope you have gained a little bit from my speech. Thank you.